Hello there, what's going on? I did just speak to my phone for like a minute and a half until I realized I wasn't recording. So let's do it again. Hello, welcome, I'm Jacob. Thank you for being here, my internet people. If you're new to my channel, it's all about this and this and this and other things as well. So if you want to learn more about that, you stick around, okay? Today we're going to just have a little bit of an improvisatory lesson about sound and the guitar, right? And something I want to say to every guitarist who's looking at me with the tip of my forehead cut off, right? If you want to be a better guitarist, there are simple things you can do. Simple things you can do that don't even involve the guitar. And here's a big secret. I'm going to tell you a big secret how you can instantly become a better guitar player. Some of you are going to hate me for telling you this secret, and some of you will be thanking me, okay? Super duper secret, here it is. To be a better guitarist, you got to be a better listener. You got to be a better listener, okay? What do I mean? What do I mean? Well, right now, wherever you are, right now, can you identify all the sounds that you can hear? Take a moment. I'm going to do it right now. Identify every sound that you can hear. Make a list. So right now, I got a headset on, but what am I hearing? I'm hearing a plane fly outside. There's a plane nearby. I'm hearing just like the hiss of my recording equipment. I was hearing my breathing. I turned my guitar volume down, so I'm not hearing my buzz. If I turn my volume up, do you hear that? So what sounds have you perceived, right? How many distinct sounds can you identify in any given space? Okay? Make your list, know what you're hearing, right? And then we want to ask ourselves questions about these sounds, such as, which is the quietest? Of everything I can hear right now, what's the quietest? How about, of everything I can hear right now, what's the loudest? Genius, I know. Okay, of everything I can hear right now, what's in the middle of that? What is, the dynamic range of what's the loudest, what's the quietest? Let's get acquainted, right? Great. Wonderful little listening meditation here. Gotta love it. I'll ring my singing bowl. Okay, now what? Now, how about what sound is furthest from you in physical space? Identify that. Right, if you can hear a motor vehicle, it's probably that. If you can hear a train or a aeroplane, trains, planes, and automobiles, you can hear those. They're probably the furthest away. Maybe you can hear Jupiter. If you really listen close, you probably can. Okay. So what's furthest away from you in physical space? What's closest to you in physical space? Okay. You have your list of sounds you're hearing or have heard. Then experiment with, can you focalize on those various sounds, right? The same way you focus your eyesight, can you bring extra attention to a specific sound in what's available? Notice we are not even talking about the guitar. We're not even really talking about music per se. We're talking about the act of listening, right? We're talking about the act of listening, which, what does that even mean? It means to bring conscious attention to what's coming through the ears, okay? Remember, there's always things coming through the ears, right? We are not always paying attention to what's coming through the ears, but there is always input going on, right? It's never silent, okay? It never is. If you find me silence, well, I'd be surprised, right? Find some silence, some true lack of sound, okay? So why are we doing this as guitarists, okay? And just as musicians? Why would we do this? Look, so much music training and education is about doing, okay? It's about a doingness and an understanding, right? I'm doing the exercise of ascending a G major scale, and I'm understanding that it is a G major scale. Now, in all of that, did I actually take the time to really listen like some sort of listening psychopath and just flood my ears with conscious attention? Now, immediately when I do that, I immediately get a hint of what are some other things I can do to make that cooler? Palm mute. How about my nails? Right? My listening, I didn't even intend for that to happen, but it immediately changed the way I approached playing that. Initially, I wasn't really listening. I was thinking, I'm going to play a G major scale, but I wasn't listening, okay? So this is a very subtle thing, right? And when you really listen in an ensemble space or in a solo performance space or just alone on a walk with your dog, okay, there is a change in the way you experience and respond to the environment, okay? And as musicians, how we respond to the environment is very important, right? We want to be able to play with and to the dynamic of what's going on, the dynamic of the crowd, the dynamic of the other musicians playing with us, our own dynamic of being a person and wherever we may be, right? And the only way we can have an authentic musical relationship with that is through our listening, right? That makes it more authentic, right? We are allowing ourselves to be informed by the environment, right? By what's going on, and allowing that to inform how and or what we play or do with our instrument, how we respond musically, okay? So I'm sure some of you are going like, duh, okay? At the same time, though, I really want you all to consider, like, how often as musicians do we give enough attention to pure listening? And I don't necessarily mean ear training. I don't mean listening and going, that's a major third. I mean like just listening and seeing how that affects the way you make music, right? So here, I've been presenting an exercise where we're doing this with just the sounds of the environment, okay? But then, of course, you want to do this in an ensemble context in the sense of, can I really hear the bass player, right? Can I give every person in this ensemble, can I hear what they're doing, right? And hear the ensemble as a whole sound, and then to flip that on its head and hear what exactly is the drummer doing, and can I respond to that? What exactly is the pianist doing, and can I respond to that, right? So anyway, do those listening exercises on your lonely, sad, and happy full days. Wherever you are, you can do that listening exercise. You can say, what can I listen to right now? What are the sounds that I am perceiving right now? And there's always more. There is always more to listen to. This practice gets you will surprise yourself. It gets very fascinating and very funny. Like there are some moments where you'll be in a room and you'll notice, if you're really listening, that if you just move your head to over here, all of a sudden you can hear something else, right? Or you may hear, your own physiology sometimes, maybe you should go see a doctor. Maybe you have high blood pressure and about to have a heart attack, but maybe not. Maybe you can just hear your physiology sometimes. This might also sadly reveal to some of you that you have tinnitus, which is, that's sort of, just be careful with those loud rock and roll shows, save your ear. Anyway, that's today's tip. You want to become a better guitarist or musician, flex and work out your listening muscle, your listening perceptual capacity. Listen as much as you can, right? Listen to everything you possibly can. Think about the uniqueness of this sense, right? We can't turn it off. It is multidimensional, right? I can hear things on the other side of my house. I can hear things a mile away. I can hear the train going by, right? I can hear electricity, right? You can hear the lights in the room, and sometimes this comes through the amp and ruins the sound of the guitar, right? As musicians, we always want to check in and be conscious of our listening. And I can't tell you how many a player gets overwrought and over infatuated and over ensnared in the reality of motor skills, and then they don't listen, and it's a nightmare. Like, have a conversation with someone who doesn't listen to anything you say. Does that sound fun? There are musicians like that where they're fantastic, but there's something. The listening isn't happening. The listening isn't there, and the music suffers because of it, despite technical mastery and skills and chops and all that. If there's no listening, I've said this before, and I'll say it right now, right? I'd rather improvise or play music with someone who listens and is maybe a pretty crappy instrumentalist than someone who's a fantastic instrumentalist but doesn't listen. It's night and day preference here, right? So you want to be a better player, immediately listen more and make this a part of your daily life. Like, listen to as much as you can. Like, when you're listening to music, really listen, right? Identify the instrumentation, right? Identify, what's the ensemble? Like, what is going on? What's the bass player doing? What's the drummer doing, right? Take multiple passes through a song or a piece and listen to different elements. Listen to the high register, listen to the low register, listen to the percussion, and open your ears, right? There's always more to take in through the ear. So I guess I'm going to stop there. That's Random Improv Mystery Lesson on Listening number 1. If you like these ideas, they're providing insight, inspiring you, and you want to take your music further, click the link in the bio below, book a call with me. Let's talk about the possibility of making your musical dreams at least a little more real. All right. Thanks for hanging out. I'm Jacob Peck. Appreciate you being here. Adios.